Hi, Helen, are you there? I need to speak with you right away. It's pretty important, so we need to talk about this. Do you have any time to talk right now?
Oh, Trevor. Hello there. Yes, we can talk. I'm just about to start getting dinner ready shortly, but for now, I can talk. Only for a little bit, though. We always talk to each other regularly, though.
Ah, right, okay, so everything is still the same over there? Nothing out of the ordinary?
Nope. There's no particular problems happening here, Trevor.
Okay, that's good, I guess. How's Penelope doing? Is she okay?
Yeah, of course she's okay. Why wouldn't she be? She's in high school now and she has her own phone, Trevor. You can just contact her directly if you want to know how she is. It doesn't take much to do that, Trevor. Just message her or something.
Well, it's not the most easy way to communicate with her. Whenever I send her a message, the replies are always just a bunch of emojis and stickers that she's bought to use in her messages. I was just curious if all adolescent girls are like that.
Is this the thing that was so important to talk about? Jeez, Trevor. If she's sending you stamps, then it means she is actually opening the messages properly and reading them. My boss at my work has a daughter who seems to be in the same age as Penelope. She doesn't reply to him with emojis or stickers though. Hahaha. When you think about it, you're in a better position when it comes to talking to your own daughter. At least you're getting the emojis and she's taking the time to read your messages.
Oh, really? Is that so? But the replies I get aren't even words, it's just emoji faces.
Look, can we talk about this later? I really need to start preparing shortly. Can I just leave you to it? Don't overthink it too much right now, okay?
Okay, yeah, I suppose that we can talk about it later. I'll see you next week then, Helen.
Trevor, you need to reply to me right away. Where the heck are you right now? Do you have any idea of what the current situation is right now? How many days does it take for you to notice that you've been neglecting your own daughter? How dare you treat an innocent child like this?
Who is this? Is that you, Heather? My dear sister-in-law? Good evening. It's been quite a while since we last talked. What's with the urgency?
Don't say that you've got no idea what's going on. You need to get back home right now. I mean it, this instant. Now you really need to think about this. As a father, what do you think about this situation? Penelope is only in her first year of high school. I can't believe you will let your daughter stay at home and just leave her in a poor condition. How can a father do that to their own child?
Heather? Hold on, what is this that you speak of, okay? I am utterly confused. What are you talking about?
You need to pack your things and get back home immediately. You can't just leave her like that.
But Heather, even if you tell me to come home, it's just a bit hard to do that right now. I'm in Australia right now. I can't just up and leave.
You're in Australia? You're just leaving your daughter alone to fend for herself while you go halfway across the planet? Why would you go on an overseas trip at this time? How could you sink so low? This is the worst thing you've ever done. How could you do this to your own family? This is absolutely disgusting behavior.
Heather, you've got this all wrong. This isn't just some overseas trip. I'm currently working overseas. That's why I'm not in the States right now.
What are you talking about? Are you saying that you're in Australia for work? This isn't a vacation.
Of course it's not a holiday, Heather. I was sent to work overseas from my company 5 months ago. I thought that Helen would have told you what I was doing. It really was a sudden change in my career. A colleague who was originally scheduled to work in Australia got seriously injured in an accident. They got rushed to the hospital and they couldn't be transferred. I was the last-minute replacement if anything went wrong, and, well, it did. I ended up being flown off to Sydney, Australia to work in their place.
Oh, really? So you're filling in your colleague's spot in Australia? That's why you're not at home?
I thought you would have known since you've got a friend at the same company I work for. If you want a confirmation on all the info I just gave you, then I think you can take to them as they can explain it all to you. That'll put your mind at ease as to why I'm not in the States right now.
Right. Okay then. Just give me a few minutes and I'll check to see if this story adds up. Give me a moment. Trevor, are you there? Sorry to keep you waiting. I just talked to my friend about the situation. It seems like the timing and reasoning for you being at your work Sydney's branch is true. I'm truly sorry for not checking the situation properly and just blaming you for everything that's going on. I'm really sorry, Trevor.
Don't worry about it too much. I hope that now you understand my predicament here.
Yeah, I understand. Penelope was also trying to explain something to me. It seemed like she couldn't form the right words in her mouth, so they couldn't come out the way she intended to.
Is she not feeling so well right now? Are you saying that something happened to my daughter?
Penelope is very much on the skinny side. That's what I seem to get out of her.
What do you mean on the skinny side? I don't understand. What are you saying?
I was on a trip and I was close to the area you all live in. I stopped by your home a while ago to visit you, Helen and Penelope. Then I saw Penelope was alone. She was sitting there looking very hungry. Helen was nowhere to be seen. I haven't got a clue where she is.
What the heck? Why would she leave Penelope at home alone? She could have gone anywhere. This is very odd.
I waited for a while. It didn't seem like she was coming back anytime soon. Actually, it seemed like Penelope hasn't been going to school for a while. It seems like Helen also took Penelope's phone too, so no one could contact her.
What? This is unbelievable. Why would Helen do something like this? She can't just leave Penelope at home by herself.
I couldn't leave Penelope the way she was, not in that condition. I waited for a long time, but neither you or Helen came home. I contacted Helen first, but I couldn't get through her at all. It's like she's fallen off the face of the earth. I don't know what else to do.
Right, so that's why you got in contact with me. I'm really sorry that you've been put in this situation, Heather. As I said before, I'm currently working overseas, so it's not easy for me to get back home.
Yeah, I get your situation. I was able to check that your story aligned with what my friend said. That issue has been resolved. So the rest of this strange story is where has Helen got to, and why Penelope is here alone starving and not going to school.
I messaged Helen last week and everything seemed okay. She said that nothing was out of the ordinary and that she just needed to start preparing for dinner. Anyways, at least I can understand what's truly going on now. First of all, I would like to thank you for checking up on Penelope and making sure she's okay. I'm beyond grateful. I'll talk to my company about the situation that's unfolding, and hopefully they'll allow me to return home temporarily. That way I can figure out what's going on.
Can you do that? It would be a lot to help me and of course your daughter. I'm with Penelope right now, so she's safe. I was thinking of taking her to the spa resort, and I'm staying at the Beverly Hills. Would you mind if I do that so that she wouldn't be left alone?
I hope that's not too much to ask. If you could do that, that would help me a lot until I can get back to the States.
Of course, Trevor. It seems like the house hasn't been cleaned for a while. It has that moldy smell to it, and it's super dusty. And, well, Penelope is my niece. I'm not going to leave her in a dirty house starving and without her mother. She deserves more than this. She should be loved and taken care of.
Thank you so much, Heather. This means a lot to me.
Also, I'm thinking of taking her to the hospital as well since she was so hungry when I first saw her.
Oh no, is she in that bad of a condition? That's not good. I'm really sorry for this, but would you mind doing that as well? Even if I try to get back to the States right away, it'll still take me a day or two to get back and getting tickets and time zone changes and,
I understand. I can take her to the hospital. That wouldn't be a problem for me. Just want to make sure she's okay.
Oh, Heather, I'm so sorry about this. I apologize for any inconvenience that has caused you, okay? I really do appreciate all that you've done so far. Thank you so much. I think my insurance card is in the top drawer of the dresser in the living room. It should still be there unless Helen moved it or something. I hope she didn't take the card with her.
No, it's okay. I've got the insurance card, right? I'll take her to the hospital first thing tomorrow morning. I'll get some food into her and take her with me to the accommodation.
Thank you so much for doing this, Heather. I really appreciate it. Okay, I'll be home soon to sort out this mess. Hi, Heather. Sorry for the late reply. I didn't mean to make you wait so long. I just landed and I'm about to leave LAX now.
Welcome back to the States, Trevor. I hope it was a good flight and that you got some rest. Well, could you please go straight to the spa resort that I told you about the other day?
Huh? What do you mean? Meet you there? I thought I'd stop at the hospital that Penelope is at on the way to the resort. I wanted to check up on her.
I know you wanted to do that, but I think you should scratch that. There is something else that came up that needs your attention.
What are you talking about, Heather? What's going on? Did something happen to you?
No, I'm fine, but I think I just saw Helen. It looks like she is staying at the same resort as me, but in a different part of the resort. I swear I saw her walking around.
What? You saw my wife at the spa? Why would she be there after she was supposed to be looking after Penelope? Okay, I'll be there soon. I can't believe she's doing this to our family.
Hi, Daddy. I really need to speak with you. It's super urgent. The thing is, you see, I don't have any money right now.
What? Is this you, Penelope? What's going on? Where's your mother?
Mom and I have gotten really skinny and are starving. I'm not able to get a job, and so I've got no money.
Penelope, you need to tell me about what's going on. Where are you right now?
I'm at home, of course, Daddy. Why don't you give me some of your money? Then I can go and buy something to eat.
Is it just for living expenses? I did get my monthly check the day before yesterday.
Daddy, I have absolutely no money left in my bank account. I don't know what else to do. You really need to give me some money. Otherwise, I'll starve to death. It'll be on you if you can't give me any money. Please, Daddy. I'm really hungry. Please help me out. I need you. I need some money.
You've got to be kidding me right now, right? You're begging me for money? There's gonna be no food for you. I'm not paying a cent to you.
Daddy, what are you talking about? You can't just not give your daughter any money. I'm so hungry and need some food.
Probably because you're not my daughter. It's you, isn't it, Helen? I know it's you.
What? I'm so confused right now. You don't think I'm Mom, do you? It's me, Daddy. Don't you see that the messages are from me? Penelope, your daughter? Did you forget who I was or something?
I definitely know that this is not my daughter. That's because Penelope has been admitted to the hospital. She's malnourished and needs food. That's why she's there.
What are you talking about, Daddy? I'm at home. I'm not so sick that I need to go to the hospital. That's totally absurd. How can you make up something like this?
I am not making it up. My mother is accompanying Penelope to the hospital so she can be checked over and get some nutrients put back into her. I also checked to see who had her phone. She said her mom took it away from her so she couldn't contact anyone. So I'm 100% positive that the person I am speaking to now is not my daughter. Instead, it's my wife who has neglected our child. I don't need any more of these messages showing up on Penelope's phone. She doesn't need to see the chat history between her parents. Swap back to your own phone right now. Stop playing games with me.
Trevor, did you just fly back to the States? Are you actually in the country right now?
Yes, I flew back. I've only come back temporarily to understand what the heck you're doing to my daughter.
Why? I don't get why you would fly all this way. I don't understand why you've come back.
Are you kidding with me, Helen? I came back because my daughter is being neglected by you. Heather told me about what was wrong with Penelope and how you weren't at home. She noticed how thin Penelope looked. Our daughter had no food, Helen.
What are you talking about? My sister was at our house? Why would she go to our house when she lives far away?
She was on her way to a spa resort near us and thought that she would stop by our house to catch up. You left our daughter there with nothing to eat. She was so shocked to see Penelope in the condition that she was in that once she saw how dire the situation was, she contacted me.
She went to our house? I had no idea that she was in the area. She just walked on in and didn't tell me.
Apparently she tried to contact you, but you never even responded to her messages. How can you just abandon our daughter with no food in the house?
Wait, so she contacted me a few days ago? I don't think I got any notifications on my phone from her.
Oh, really now? Isn't it more like you just ignored her and didn't bother to check your messages?
Well, I don't have any better way to say this. I'm currently with a friend on a little trip right now, so I'm just a little bit busy at the moment.
What the heck, Helen? Didn't you just say that you had no money? Have you got any idea what is happening to our daughter right now? You know, Penelope, right? Your own daughter? You leave her to go on a trip without any kind of food in the house. She's a kid and now she's in the hospital malnourished. How could you do this to her?
Oh, really? Is that what's going on right now? I thought that she could do things by herself. You know how much I need a break, right? Well, I do need money. I run out of money during the trip, so I thought maybe it would be good if you could wire me some.
If that's the case, Helen, then why didn't you just say so honestly that this whole thing might have just not happened? I assumed there were things that you didn't want to tell me, so you just lied and pretended to be your daughter, so that you could get the money out of me faster. What a crappy thing to do, Helen. I was still in Australia, but I guess you thought I wouldn't understand the situation here in the States.
Well, that's not necessarily what I was thinking about.
Helen, I could kind of guess from over here in Australia that something was off. The way you messaged me was odd. Something didn't sit right with me, and it's true. I guess you were planning to pay for your stay with the credit card I left you to use for Penelope and you. At some point, though, I would find out that you'd use the card, so it was no longer an option for you to use it without knowing what you paid for. You knew that if you checked out by using the card, you would start to panic because I would be able to trace back the payment. I wonder if this connected you to your lack of confidence in impersonating Penelope. You were not doing a good job at that. It was too obvious.
How do you even know that's what I was trying to do? Why would you say something like that?
Well, it seems like that's what you were trying to do. Also, just to let you know, I blocked the credit card.
Are you insane? Why would you block the credit card? How am I supposed to buy anything?
That's the whole point in blocking a credit card, Helen. You're not supposed to buy anything. You're not even providing for your own daughter, so why should I let you have access to a credit card? Why would I let you have my credit card when I know you and some other man are staying at some spa resort in Beverly Hills anyway?
What are you talking about? Why do you know about that? How did you find out?
You really want to know how I figured it out, Helen? I'm staying at the same resort that you are right now.
Are you kidding me? Why are you even here when you're clearly supposed to be in Australia? How could you have possibly known what I was doing?
Heather seemed to think that she saw you in a different part of the resort with another man. She was at a resort on a trip herself.
You can't be serious right now. This can't be seriously happening. I had it all planned out so no one would know where I was.
According to Penelope, our daughter that you decided to neglect believes that this other man is actually your boss from work. You took advantage of the fact that I was overseas, working really hard by the way to provide for our family, and you brought him into our home to have your little affair. Then when Penelope accused you of this, when you couldn't deal with it, you just went and expelled her from school. You took her out of school just because she was disobeying her parents even though you were in the wrong. You didn't give her proper food, you only gave her a bit of money, and it wasn't even enough to live off of. It wasn't enough for food and living expenses. You just wanted the money for yourself and to have fun with other men, but you knew it was gonna run out eventually. Finally, you took the card and thought that you could use it for a fun-filled trip to the spa with your boss. When I noticed what you were doing, I blocked you from using it. Is this more or less how the story goes, Helen? It's not hard to track a credit card. There's no use trying to flee from your own problems now, Helen.
This can't be! How did you know what I was doing?
I told the person at the front desk that you both have no money. No matter what happens, you wouldn't be able to leave until you've paid for the other accommodations and other additional charges.
This has got to be some kind of sick joke you're playing, Trevor. Don't do this to me! Please, just let this all go this time, please!
What are you talking about? Why would I have let this go after all that you've done?
It's because I'm breaking up with that man, so it should all be fine again, right? We can just go back to how things were before, can't we? And also, hear me out. Since you've been working overseas, if I have to leave the house, Penelope would be alone at home at times. Even though she's a high school student, she's still a girl alone at home. You get what I'm trying to say, right?
I suppose. My overseas transfer has been cut short.
What do you mean? It's been cut short?
The colleague who was originally supposed to transfer to Sydney was able to come back to work sooner than we thought. We were both able to switch positions at a time when we were both in a good position in our jobs. They took my circumstances into consideration and decided that I needed to go back there during the next week.
I'm not quite following. What does this mean?
Well, due to formalities, I think I'll have to go back to Australia once more. With the help of my parents, Penelope won't be a problem of yours anymore. She won't interfere with your future life events.
Whoa, hold up, Trevor. You can't just do that. I have rights as a mother. It's easier for me to obtain custody than you, as I'm her mother, and that's just how society works.
Well, it'll happen whether you like it or not. I heard that you've been notified by the hospital about her condition. Because of the condition of Penelope's body, child support has launched a case against you with how you treated our daughter.
What do you mean? What about the hospital? Child support? Oh, just wait a minute, Trevor. They can't get involved when I didn't do anything to her.
You didn't feed her, Helen. You'll be arrested for child neglect.
You're lying. They can't arrest me. I didn't do anything to Penelope.
But you've done just that, Helen. You left her hungry. She could have died since she had no money to buy food. From now on and for the rest of your days on this earth, don't come near me or my daughter again. We don't need you, and all you do is cheat and neglect our child.
Why are you being like this? Don't be like that, Trevor. We can talk this out.
So the mother who treated her daughter badly and cheated on her partner is with the police. They both needed to take responsibility for their criminal records and to pay the alimony. Also, a full refund of the money was used to pay for their spa. This money was paid for in a lump sum to Trevor's parents. Trevor will receive a fund directly from Helen. Also, his company ordered him to come back to Los Angeles head office. Once Penelope recovered from her malnutrition, we moved in with Trevor's parents. Their known address was only given to Heather, who helped him out. Penelope wants to go back to school again, so she's transferred to another high school part-time. She's trying her best. Trevor has gotten his life back and tells himself that I need to do what's best as a father. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Come on now, Alice. When are you going to give up? Are you still refusing to divorce him? Really? After everything I've said to you? What? Don't play dumb with me. You know exactly what you need to do. Me and Drew have known each other since we were kids. We go way back. Way longer than you and him do, anyway. And ever since he had to move away from our town because of his dad's work, we've been in a long-distance romance. And it's been so painful for us to be apart from each other. Sure, maybe he hasn't been contacting me very much lately, but that doesn't change the fact that our feelings for each other are just as strong as they've ever been. And now that a miraculous twist of fate has brought us together, it's only right that we would get married like we've always wanted to. I can picture our wedding, me in my beautiful white dress, him in a dashing tuxedo, and a dartboard with your picture on it. I won't let someone like you steal him away from me, Alice. Drew is mine. He always was mine, and he always will be mine. So stop getting in the way of our love. Divorce him and let us finally be together. Set him free. You know it's the right thing to do. What's miraculous about it? He was always going to move back into town to take over his grandfather's company after he retired. Meanwhile, you stayed in town and married one of your high school classmates, and I seem to recall you've gotten at least a couple of kids now. So, no, it wasn't a twist of fate or anything like that brought us back into town. Drew's grandfather is getting ready to retire, so we moved into town in order to make the transition smoother, that's all. Not to mention, how could you and Drew be in a long-distance romance when you were never in a short-distance romance in the first place? You can lie to yourself about us all you want, Alice, but you know our love is real. It's realer than anything the two of you could ever have. Ours is a love that goes beyond words, beyond actions, beyond distance, beyond time itself. We're soulmates. It was written in the stars that we would move beyond just being childhood friends to being fully fledged lovers. So please, Alice, I am begging you, don't tear us apart. It's already too much for us to bear. If we have to stay apart for any longer, I think it's going to be the end of us. I don't believe this. Look, I feel like I need to nip this in the bud, so I'm going to be as straightforward and frank as possible. Well, spit it out then. Never contact Drew or me ever again. Neither of us want anything to do with you. What? We know that you're famous in this town for being a delusional psychopath. Everyone knows about you and your antics, and we've been experiencing them firsthand for the last few weeks. Who told you that? I want names! Rachel, you are a married woman. Your husband is a successful businessman, and you have 2 children between you. Drew is a married man himself. Think about what impact your actions are having on all of them before you start trying to become a homewrecker. Homewrecker? Who's the homewrecker? The only person around here doing any homewrecking is you. You're the one trying to tear me and my true love Drew apart. The only reason I married my husband is because I gave up on waiting for Drew to come back into town to sweep me off my feet. I feel so sorry for doing that to Drew, and I realize now what a horrible mistake I made. But none of that matters anymore now that Drew has finally come back for me. I just told you, Rachel, Drew did not move back into town to be with you. We moved back into town because Drew will soon be taking over his grandfather's business. That was always our plan. How many times do I need to tell you this for that to sink in? Drew did not come here for you. How many times do I need to tell you, Alice? Obviously, Drew's plan all along was to marry me, once it came time for him to take over his grandpa's company. That's the only reasonable conclusion. You haven't said a single reasonable thing to me in the entire time I've known you. You're the unreasonable one, Alice, not me. You're so unreasonable that you can't even see that you're not wanted. Drew gets sick just by looking at that hideous face of yours. Ugh, you make me so mad. What is wrong with you? Why can't you just listen to what I'm telling you? Divorce my Drew right now and get out of our lives forever. We don't want to ever see your face around here again. Hey, Drew, you're working late again today, right? I'll come straight to your office to pick you up, so let me know once you find out exactly when you'll be finishing up.
Uh-oh. Don't tell me. Is it her again?
You guessed it. It's your old friend Rachel. She just sent me a barrage of texts with the usual content. And she's currently sitting out in front of our apartment building, waiting for you, I assume.
Oh, for the love of... I have told her countless times that she needs to knock this off. What is wrong with that woman? I'm really glad we went with an apartment building that has a thorough security system. Imagine if we owned our own house and she found the address. There's no telling what she'd do.
Right, locked the front doors, security cameras in every hallway, and an underground parking lot with elevators that go straight into the building.
Okay, thanks for letting me know about that. I'm so sorry you have to deal with this. You have no idea how much trouble she caused me back in middle school. She went around to all the girls in our grade telling them I was her boyfriend and to keep their hands off of me. But to think that she's still keeping this up even after we're both married to other people? She's nuts, that's all there is to it.
Seriously, I used to think that people like her just existed in bad soap operas and corny B movies. It's only been 2 weeks since we moved here, and she's been escalating her harassment every day. You always told me you had a stalker when you were a kid, but I had no idea it was this bad. And when I think about her poor kids and husband and how this must be making them feel, it's all a terrible combination of depressing and scary.
Yeah, that's the worst part for me. About her family, though, I heard an interesting story from an old friend of mine. Apparently, her current marriage was arranged by their parents.
Whoa, an arranged marriage?
At the time, the company her husband runs now was teetering on the brink of bankruptcy, and Rachel's father, an influential businessman in his own right, agreed to supply the company with much-needed funding in exchange for her getting married to the former owner's son.
Wow, that sounds like something medieval European nobility used to do.
Right? It's honestly crazy that either Rachel or her husband consented to it, but for whatever reason they ended up getting married. It gets more interesting, though. Their positions have reversed. Right now, Rachel's dad's company is failing, and her husband's company is the one giving out financial assistance. Seeing as though Rachel's dad did save his company back in the day, it makes sense he would want to return the favor, but it's also a big reason why it would be difficult for him to divorce her. The friend who told me all of this actually is a drinking buddy of Rachel's husband's, and apparently all it takes is a few beers for him to start talking about how badly he wished he had an excuse to get rid of her.
Wow, that is one messy family situation. Yikes.
Right, but knowing how much of a disaster area Rachel is, I can't say I blame him.
Seriously.
Okay, well, I gotta get back to work now, Alice.
Oh, right, you're at work now. I'm sorry, honey, I'll let you go.
Nah, it's fine. I should be thanking you. All I've got left on my plate today is some last-minute preparation for my business trip next week, so I'll probably be leaving in about an hour. I'll call you when I know for sure.
Gotcha. Talk to you later. Tick-tock, Alice. Every day is one day closer to the day Drew and I will finally be together. There you are, Rachel. What's up with the stack of divorce papers you left on our mailbox? Huh? What do you mean? You know what I mean. You left a stack of divorce papers in our mailbox with your signature on it. Just what do you think you're doing, Rachel? I don't get this at all. Oh, oopsie-doopsie. Looks like I switched the envelopes. I guess the one I gave to my husband was the one I meant to give to you, and the one you have right now is the one I was supposed to give to my husband. What? I guess I should have probably written something on the envelope so I could identify them easier. Would you mind meeting up with my husband and trading envelopes? Hold on. Does this mean that you actually intended to divorce your husband? Of course! Drew is finally signaling to me that he's going to leave you for me, and that gave me the courage I needed to kick my useless husband to the curb. This is giving me a headache. Exactly how is Drew signaling anything to you? I know everything, Alice. Drew's going out of town on business today, right? Oh, and don't bother trying to hide it. Your daughter told my son all about it at daycare yesterday. I mean, yes, he is, but what does that have to do with anything? Aw, you poor thing. You really don't get it, do you? Drew used your daughter to get a message to me through my son. He wanted me to know. Sure, he's telling you it's for business, but the truth is that he's using it as cover to finally be together with me. No, it's just an ordinary business trip. How can you be this delusional? You're just telling yourself that to cope with the shame and sadness of your husband abandoning you. But you finally get it now, don't you? After decades of waiting, Drew and I are finally going to be united in love this very night. I know my words are falling on deaf ears right now, but every single thing that you just said is a bunch of deranged, delusional, psychopathic nonsense. You really are determined to deny reality, aren't you? But you're too late. I just checked into the same hotel where Drew is staying. You what? I can't believe this is actually happening. Yeah, I followed him in his car all the way here. I know he was expecting me, but I still wanted it to be a surprise. Okay, this has just moved beyond annoying and into the realm of positively terrifying. Don't you dare go near Drew, do you hear me? I'm just glad they had open rooms available. I don't know what I would have done if they were fully booked. I wonder what Drew's gonna say when he proposes to me. What should I wear? Oh, I'm so excited! But my first order of business is to find Drew's room. I bet he's booked one of the big fancy suites for us to spend our first night in. Drew, are you in your hotel room right now?
Hey, Alice. Yeah, I am. I just checked in a little while ago. I've got some free time in the evening, so I thought I'd step out of my room for a little bit and take a walk to unwind from the trip.
Don't! Drew, whatever you do, do not leave your room. Lock the door right now.
What's wrong, Alice?
Rachel followed you, Drew. She just rented a room at the same hotel as you. She's out there looking for your room right now. You cannot let her find you. She is out of her frickin' mind.
Are you serious?
Yes, she told me about it by text just now. I don't think she knows what your room number is yet, but you need to make sure she doesn't find out, no matter what.
Okay, I got it, Alice. My God in heaven, she followed me all the way out here. I was joking when I called her my stalker in middle school, but now she's gone and proved me right.
Hey, what are you doing here, Alice? Did you come here just to get in our way again? For the record, Rachel, I was planning on staying the night here with Drew from the get-go. This isn't anything we decided on the spur of the moment or anything. Liar! The only reason we arrived separately is because I had some business to attend to before coming over here. Then what is going on? Explain yourself! One of our client companies is celebrating the 30th anniversary of their founding, and they're having the party at this hotel tomorrow. They invited Drew as the successor to his grandfather's company, and Drew asked me to accompany him. But why would he want you to come along? Drew's grandfather always had his wife attend these sorts of social events with him in order to have a closer, more familial relationship with his business partners. Since Drew will be taking over for his grandfather soon, he wants me to do the same. I don't understand. Let me put this to you in the simplest terms possible. Drew is introducing me to his clients as his wife. That's not... One more thing. I'm pregnant with our second child right now. No, that can't be! I hope this should all make it very clear that Drew has zero interest in leaving me or marrying you. Well, do you get it now, Rachel? But Drew is mine! Good morning, Alice. I'm not too thrilled to say this, but I've decided to allow you to stay married to Drew. Also, if it makes you feel better, I'll let you think that I was mistaken that Drew was going to propose to me. How generous of you. Oh, and one more thing. Those divorce papers I left at your house, you can throw them away for me. I was a bit flustered at the time, but now that I think about it, I'm quite lucky I gave those to you by mistake. If I had actually given them to my husband, he might have actually divorced me. Yeah, about those divorce papers, your husband told me that he's already submitted them to the courthouse. What? He submitted them? Yep, he just told me about that this morning. Oh no. You see, before I headed over to the hotel yesterday, I stopped by your house to deliver the divorce papers to your husband, just like you asked me to do. I handed him the signed papers, explained the situation, and had a little chat with him before I headed off. You what? He said he would call your parents and his together for a more in-depth discussion as soon as possible. And that's the last thing I've heard about the situation, so if you want to know more about why he chose to submit them, you'll have to ask him. What's going on? Why? How could something like this happen to me? Do you need to ask me? Think about it, Rachel. One thing I will tell you, though, is that Drew is absolutely disgusted by your psychopathic stalking of him. Stalking? That's nonsense. I have done no such thing. We told you time after time after time to leave us alone, but you not only kept telling me to divorce my husband, you followed him to his hotel in another city. What do you call that if not stalking? But I love him! The feeling isn't mutual. Goodbye, Rachel. Rachel's husband finally found the excuse to get rid of her that he'd been waiting for. While it may have been a one-sided obsession on Rachel's part, the fact remains that she was about to leave her husband for another man. He called both sets of parents together right away. He quickly laid out the reason for the divorce and had his lawyer take care of everything immediately. In the ensuing divorce proceedings, full custody of both of their children was awarded to Rachel's husband, and any property division or alimony that would have gone her way was eliminated due to her indefensible and incomprehensible behavior. At the same time, the funding that was being provided to Rachel's father's company was cut off, and 6 months later, the company went bankrupt. I ran into Rachel in town the other day, though she looked like she had aged about 20 years since I last saw her. From what I hear, she's been working all sorts of unpleasant jobs in order to both keep herself out of the poorhouse and help her dad pay off his debts. She turned and ran away as soon as she saw me, presumably out of shame. Now that we're free of her psychopathic obsession and disturbing delusions, my husband Drew and I have finally found some peace in our lives.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Sorry for the sudden interruption. I'm going to assume that this is Jane's mother's phone number that I'm texting, correct? I am her fiancé David's father, and you can call me Michael.
Sorry for not having gotten in touch with you any sooner. My name is Laurel. I think the last time we spoke to one another was years ago when they'd first started dating, right?
I was able to get your phone number from David.
Yes, I heard about that from him. Sounds like you have something to ask me about, so what could that be?
Well, then allow me to get to all of that right now. Understanding that something like Jess's family having only been her and you, that would make for a bad picture of us, and I'm therefore going to ask that you do not come to her wedding in 2 days.
What? By that, do you mean that you're upset with the fact that I'm her only parent currently?
Correct, that's what I'm saying. Just the idea of someone having only been raised with one parent is a bad one.
I understand that, but what about the rest of the family that will be going to the wedding?
I have people that I can have stand in for you, so there won't be any problems there.
You're having people stand in? I can't believe this. What have Jess and David said about all of this?
Considering I'm the head of this house, those two will listen to everything I have to say about it and abide by it. I just need you to stay quiet and make sure not to show up to the wedding on the day of.
No way.
Anyhow, I'm going to need you to cut ties to Jess. I'm already having to take on someone like your daughter who had a stunted education and everything under you, so you should be more than thankful for that. If you really care for your daughter's happiness any, you won't speak about any of this to her. Laurel, hello. Do you have a moment to talk?
Hello, David.
Would you like to come with Jess and I to the wedding tomorrow in my car?
What?
You're the one who'll be handling things like Jess's makeup and her hairstyling, right? We should arrive at the wedding venue around the same time anyway, so wouldn't it be best if you came along with us both in the same car? Your house is on the way for us anyway, so if you don't mind, come along.
Thank you, but David, have you not heard anything from your father about me?
From my dad? Now that I think about it, he did say that yesterday he took some time to talk with you over text. Don't tell me he was being rude to you about something.
He was talking to me. I'm sorry to have to say things like this about him to his own son, but I have no other choice, it seems.
What the heck did my dad end up saying to you?
Do you want to take a look at all the things he sent to me yesterday? I think sending you the screenshots would be a much more efficient way of handling this, instead of me trying to explain things.
That's a good point. You can send me those screenshots. Wait! If you don't mind this, how about I make my way over to your house right now, and you can show me everything he said to you in person. And if things require it, we can begin to talk about how to deal with my dad right away.
If you're going to be coming, then can you bring Jess along as well?
Of course I can. She already said to me that she wants to come, so we'll be coming together.
Understood. I'll see you both soon then.
Excuse me, Laurel. Why have you come to the wedding venue today? I already told you not to come, didn't I? I can see that you're over in the bride's changing room as well right now, so what do you think you're up to there?
Good morning, Michael. I don't think anything is going to be able to change the fact that I'm the bride's mother and have a right to be at her wedding today. And I'm not up to anything bad by being here.
If not, then leave!
But I'm in the middle of some tasks I was asked to handle by the bride and groom themselves.
Tasks? Oh, perhaps you work as a janitor or something like that? I remember you saying back when we'd first met one another that you work in a field where you clean people up and make them feel pretty, all while giggling about it.
So you remember the way I was laughing about it then, but nothing about the actual field of expertise that I'm in?
Huh?
I'm really sorry to stop things here, but I'm in the middle of prepping the bride for her wedding day, so I must go.
Hey! You get the hell out of here right now! I told you already that the bride having only one parent, and that being only her mother, is a bad look for us. Someone who should have already cut ties to her daughter shouldn't be coming into here thinking she can be around us.
David, I started to get some more texts from your father.
Is that right? As expected, he's really gone and done it to himself.
Yep, unfortunately he did. Do you want to come over here and see me to take a look at everything he said? And then I will leave everything there after in your hands.
Sure thing, I'll be there right away. You go home right now.
What?
I don't want you to be at my wedding anymore.
David!
I just spoke with both Mom and Grandma a second ago, and the both of them are furious with you now.
What are you going on about right now, David? If you don't have the both of your parents there during your wedding, you're going to make a bad image for yourself.
And you've gone and made a terrible image for yourself by acting like a complete and total jackass to Jess's mother. But it seems you don't quite get that yet.
What are you talking about?
Jess's mother works as a hairstylist, and not just any stylist, but one working at the top hair salon here in this city. She does the hair of so many celebrities that you probably can't even count them all.
What? She works at a hair salon that even celebrities are going to?
That's right, and it's the exact same place that both Mom and Grandma have been going to for years now, and are very familiar with Jess's mother because of it. And the only reason Jess and I were able to meet in the first place was because of their relationships. Then, here's something that I think you of all people will find very important, Dad.
What is it?
It seems that a lot of those hair salons have been left under the supervision of Cameron. And you know that Cameron has plenty of other businesses that he's taking care of as well, right? And the main company that he's in charge of happens to be a massive business partner of the company you're working at, Company W.
What?
He happens to be Jess's brother, but you never met him before because all of the times you guys were around, he was busy with things like the businesses. But you did get his business card at one point, correct?
His business card? So that's what that business card was all about?
Don't tell me you threw that card away or something. So you did toss it.
I thought he was going to try talking to me some more later on about how he wanted to sell me his lovely company or something, considering he never had a father growing up to make him into a proper businessman.
Jesus! So you didn't even have a look at his business card to see the kind of man he is. And when you were told about where Jess's mother has been working, you didn't listen to any of that either. Seems neither your eyes or ears are of any use to you then.
Whoa! How dare you say things like that to your father? Everyone and their mother knows that fatherless households like theirs are utter disgraces. Sorry that you can't seem to wrap your head around that or anything. That is why I asked for Laurel to stop talking to Jess anymore, so that this family's image didn't have to be stained by her.
I see. And here's a response from Cameron, the CEO of Company W, to what you've said to his mother. Then, this is the end of my company and your company's relations as well, correct?
What?
Dad, you were the one in charge of business relations between Company W and your company, right? Seems that you've been causing a lot of trouble for Cameron's company and the man he left in charge of relations with you, all because he's a bit younger than you. Well, just a couple of days ago, on Friday to be exact, that man went and made a complaint to your company about how you've harassed him.
He complained?
Your company was told that as long as you are overseeing the business relations, there would be no more business between you guys and Company W.
What was that?
In preparations for this wedding today, you took off that Friday, right? Well, when it comes to this Monday, you're going to be hearing all about what's happened while you've been out of the office. And here's a word from your CEO of Company A.
Huh? My CEO is here right now with you guys?
Cameron happens to be close friends with your CEO, and considering how long they've been friends for, he's also family friends with Laurel and Jess. In other words, not another person here has the same kind of skewed views on people like Laurel that you do, and not a single one of us wants you around.
No way!
If you understand what I've said, then hurry up and leave this place right now. If I have to have a father like you around during my wedding, I'll be more than embarrassed. I'm also going to be cutting ties to you now.
Wait a minute, David. If you do something like that to me, then you will have to say goodbye to both your grandma and mother as well. Are you really okay with something like that?
The only person I'm cutting ties to is you, Dad.
What? What are you talking about?
If you have no intent to celebrate the joining of this family with Jess's, then you can grab your things and leave this place right now. I've already gone and told the staff about what you've done and what to do with you.
Wait!
Just go the hell home.
Please, can you find some way to talk my wife out of what she's thinking?
Good evening, Michael. That must mean that the talks about divorce are going well for her?
That's correct. I would really like you to go and have a word with her right now to try and avoid this divorce, or else...
I hear that she's the owner of that house and everything, so if you get divorced by her, you have to go.
That's absolutely right.
I heard this from your wife as well, about how back in middle school you had to start living in a fatherless household.
What?
I'm not sure what kind of person your mother was, or in what way she raised you that led to you becoming the pathetic man you are now, but with you so against me and the person I am, that must mean that you are also against your own mother and downright hate her, correct?
Yes, that's right. She was divorced by my father because she was too ugly and useless for him. I wanted to go with my father after the divorce, but my mother took custody of me anyway. I hated my mother because she put me into that fatherless household and would be gone day after day working, yet still not make enough to get us out of poverty. Also, she'd never bother to care for me, and that's why I hate her more than anyone else.
So she was having to work her butt off in order to take care of her only child?
Had she just forgiven those 1 or 2 times of cheating?
Huh?
Had she just done that, then I would have never had to have grown up like that without my father around. I'm sure the same thing can be said for you, right? Even if you've raised 2 excellent kids, you're never going to free yourself of being that crappy parent to your children. Any mother who is divorced by their husband has to be completely useless.
Speaking about me like that will only hurt you more. Because the reason I ended up being a single mother is due to my husband passing away to his chronic illness.
What?
Considering that this will most definitely be the last time you and I ever talk to one another, I don't want to say anything more to you. However, I will let you know one last thing, and that's for you to hurry up and fix that bias and attitude of yours before it ends up completely ruining your life.
Wait!
Goodbye now. Something in Michael's last message that caught my attention. A certain phrase stood out. An affair once or twice? It made me wonder if there was more to the story, and as it turns out, my suspicions were correct. He had been having an affair with a female subordinate. Later on, I heard from his wife that this affair was added to the list of reasons for their divorce, alongside the original issues that had caused their relationship to break down. After that, things took a sharp turn for Michael. Even in his professional life, he was removed from his position in sales at the company and reassigned to a dead-end job with no external responsibilities, far from the important work he had been doing. From being a prominent figure in the company's business operations, he was demoted to a back-office position where he no longer had contact with clients or any meaningful projects. He became invisible, tucked away in a corner. Yet despite the drastic change in his work situation, he couldn't afford to quit. His wife had filed a substantial claim for alimony, which he was obligated to pay. On top of that, his age made finding new employment extremely difficult. In the end, no matter how humiliating it was to stay in such a lowly position, he had no choice but to stay. Day after day, he now sits at his desk carrying out menial tasks with no hope of returning to his previous status. The woman he had the affair with, on the other hand, did not fare much better. She chose to resign voluntarily from the company, likely pressured by the situation that had unfolded. The scandal surrounding their affair became too much to bear. After leaving her job, she was forced to pay alimony to Michael's wife as well. And ultimately, she returned to her hometown in the countryside. The shame and financial strain of the affair had left her with no other options. Imagining the lonely future that awaits Michael is nothing short of painful. Here was a man who, not too long ago, had everything: a stable career, a family, a comfortable life, but his own actions, fueled by selfish desires, led him down a path that cost him everything. The affair with his subordinate not only destroyed his marriage, but also derailed his career in ways he could never have anticipated. Michael was once well respected in his field. As a sales executive, he was the face of the company, often negotiating with clients and securing deals. He had a certain confidence about him, always walking through the office with his head held high. But that same arrogance might have blinded him to the consequences of his actions. Perhaps he thought he could juggle both his professional and personal indiscretions without being caught. But life rarely works out that way. His wife, who had stood by him through thick and thin, had every reason to leave. After all, this wasn't just about a single mistake. When he carelessly mentioned an affair once or twice, it revealed a deeper problem. He saw his infidelities as minor transgressions, dismissing the hurt and betrayal that they caused. It's no wonder that once the truth came out, his wife could no longer tolerate being in the marriage. Their divorce wasn't just a personal matter either. It rippled through Michael's professional life. The company likely wanted to distance itself from the scandal, and removing him from his position in sales was an easy way to minimize any damage. He went from being a key player to someone who could easily be forgotten. In the corporate world, once you lose your relevance, it's nearly impossible to regain it. Now, Michael spends his days in the shadows, performing trivial tasks that no one else wants to do. The irony is that despite all this, he cannot leave his job. The alimony payments to his ex-wife are a constant reminder of his mistakes, and he's trapped in this miserable routine, knowing that quitting would mean financial ruin. His pride might be bruised, but he has no choice but to endure the monotony, watching the years slip away from behind his desk. As for the woman he had the affair with, her fate seems equally grim. In a sense, she was a casualty of Michael's recklessness, though she too made her own choices. Voluntarily resigning from the company was likely an attempt to escape the shame of being known as the other woman, but it came at a great cost. After paying her share of the alimony, she retreated to the countryside, where her career prospects are likely limited. One can only imagine the isolation she must feel now. Together, their affair not only destroyed their lives, but also left a trail of pain and regret. Michael, once so confident and full of himself, is now facing the reality of a lonely and desolate old age. The choices he made in pursuit of temporary pleasures led to permanent consequences. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, Gavin. Why did you bring your parents along with you on our private vacation again? This time we were taking this trip as a way to make up for the lack of a honeymoon taken after we got married, right? We both were busy with work around our time of the wedding, and that's why we couldn't go anywhere after. We even had my parents take the kids so that we could go on this vacation without having anyone else coming along with us, right? So why did you bring your parents along last minute?
What is wrong with you, Alice?
Also, when it comes to our seating on this plane, you three are all sat together while I'm having to sit in a different row all by myself. Why do I have to be all by myself when the row you're in has 4 seats available?
We didn't have a choice in that, okay? Both of my parents wanted to come on this trip with us this morning, so when I went to buy them tickets last minute, I had to change where I sat in order to be together with them.
But what I don't understand is why from the beginning you were sitting in a different row than me on the plane.
Just be happy there were enough seats for the 4 of us to be on the same plane together, Alice. And you got to sit in premium economy, right?
This isn't about me being in a better seat than you guys. And this plane isn't even close to max capacity, so there sure was enough seating for both you and I to have sat together and for the 4 of us to have sat as well.
What's the big deal of going on vacation with both of my parents anyway? This is my way of saying thanks to them for allowing you and me to live in a different house instead of having to live together with them. I'm being a good son.
Listen, Gavin, if you wanted to have your parents come along, then why did you say no to me inviting my parents as well as bringing the kids on this trip? I don't get it.
Oh, come on now. If we brought along everyone on this trip, we'd have to spend way too much money.
I'm not talking about money right now. Honestly, I just wanted this trip to be the 2 of us, yet you went and brought your parents with us last minute.
Are you saying it won't be any fun having my parents along with us?
That is not what I'm saying.
Well, no matter what you have to complain about, they're already with us now, so there's nothing we can do. If you want for just the both of us to go on vacation, we can do that the next time we have a chance.
Oh, whatever, Gavin. I don't care anymore. Alice, I heard that just a little bit ago you had a lot of things to say about my son. Don't forget that our son makes sure we hear about everything. I should have known that he'd show you all those texts. We are sitting right next to him, so of course we'd see what you were saying whether he showed us or not. The fact that you can't even understand that our son is trying to be good to us, wants to be good to us, proves that you're a failure as a wife. Is that the only reason you're texting me right now? To tell me that I'm a failure? I'm just letting you know what I think before we get down to business. I just hope you remember what I've just said to you here. Well, none of what you've just told me helps our relationship anyway, so no thanks. Excuse me? So can we get to what you want to talk to me about now? Oh, that's right. I have to talk with you about this as soon as possible. Listen here, Alice. The hotel that was reserved for us to stay at tonight only had one room available. I'm sure you'd love to talk about that now, since there's 4 of us staying there. Originally, this trip was just for Gavin and I to be on, so we only needed 1 room. And since I had no time to tell you and your husband that this morning when you came bursting out of nowhere saying that you were coming as well, we're all stuck with 1 room. I see. I've been aware of that. Since we only have 1 room and there are 4 of us, you're going to be sleeping somewhere else tonight. Huh? You want me to find somewhere else to stay tonight? Gavin's been on his tablet this whole time trying to figure something out for us, but every single hotel in that area is full with no rooms available. And the room that Gavin took at the start only has 1 bed and a couch, so that's where my husband and I, plus Gavin, will be staying tonight. What's so bad about having Gavin sleep on the floor then and allowing me to have the couch? The room is only meant for 3 people max, and since I can't trust what's on hotel room floors, I will not allow anyone to sleep on them. So what you're saying is I'm being forced to sleep somewhere else? Gavin is to blame for this as well, but we're asking you to find somewhere else to sleep tonight. Understood.
Alice, now that my mom has talked with you about what's happening today, we don't expect you to have to crash out in the lobby or anything, but you're going to have to find yourself someplace else to sleep tonight.
Sure. This should mean I can go off on my own and do whatever I want for the rest of this trip without you guys then, right?
What? We're gonna meet up in the airport once we've landed and then go to the hotel like we'd planned before, right? All you'll have to do is sleep somewhere else tonight. We can make a time and place to meet tomorrow and get back to spending this vacation together, right?
Not anymore though, Gavin. I just can't with you anymore. The fact that you just can't seem to understand what the problem is here is going to make me crazy if I keep trying to write things.
Huh?
I'm going to do things by myself when we get there. And I'll find my own way home when it's time because I do not want to take the same plane as you guys.
Hey, Alice!
I'm sure that both your mom and dad are watching this conversation unfold as well, right? Guess I won't need to explain anything to your mom now. See you after this trip is over.
Hey, wait! Hey, Alice! I just went up to your seat and you weren't even there. Did you move to another seat on the plane or something? Answer the damn phone already. You think I'm gonna just stop trying after a few rings? What the hell is going on here? I can't find you anywhere on this plane now. Why the hell are you even that mad with me to begin with? You and your selfishness is so damn childish, Alice. Fine. Go sit wherever the hell you want. I'm betting you're just hiding in the bathroom now anyway.
Gavin, I noticed you left for a little bit after we had dinner. Where are you right now?
Ah, hi, Mom. Perfect timing, actually. There's a hot spring out behind the hotel that's owned by the resort. How about you and Dad go enter that for a little bit and relax?
Wow, I didn't know that this resort had so many amenities.
When this resort was first built, it was known as the only one on the island to have an all-natural hot spring included in it. Normally, it's private and only available to guests that have reserved it weeks in advance, but after asking the front desk, they said a few spots in it just opened up.
Are you not going to come and join us?
There's actually one other reason I wanted to come out here on vacation, so I'm going there now. So while I'm gone, you and Dad can take your time relaxing, and I'll make sure to call you when I'm on my way back. By the way, the front desk is only giving you both an hour, so you'd better get down there and enjoy the hot spring while you can. You have until 10 p.m. to be in there, so go, go, go.
Oh my. I guess I'll have to grab your dad and get down there. I'll grab my towel and everything right now and go with your dad.
Have a relaxing time. Alice, thank you for waiting. I'm getting in a taxi right now and will be on my way to your hotel.
Sounds good. Good work today, by the way, Gavin. Were you able to get them off your back without any issues?
Without any trouble at all, actually. I told them to go and chill in the hot spring for a bit while I dipped, and that's exactly what they both did.
I see. So is that the thing you ordered last minute due to them having the last minute cancellation?
That was it. In other words, that was the last good thing I'm doing for my parents for the rest of my life.
That's right. About 20 minutes ago, I got a call from your older sister. She told me that things went to plan, and after meeting up with her boyfriend, she was able to move into her new condo. Now that she's moved in, they're celebrating with things like wine and pizza.
Oh, is that right?
She also gave me her new phone number because she's going to get rid of her old one after today, so once you arrive here, I'll give it to you.
Thank you. I'm so happy to hear that my older sister was finally able to make her way out of there. And Alice, thank you for helping us out with all of it.
Sure, I'm just happy it all went as planned.
What I'm really happy about, though, is that I no longer have to play the role as the husband who's in love with his mother and father more than his own wife. God, that was so tough for me to do. The amount of times I had to call and text you there to convince my parents that I was really upset with you.
That was quite a lot of calls, and I'm going to have to go through and delete all their notifications now.
I will never, ever do anything like that again, I promise you that.
I sure hope you don't. And man, was it tough for me then as well. I knew that your parents were watching you text and call me all the time then, so I had to make sure that all of my texts were believable. Thinking of the best way to make it look as though I didn't love you anymore was the hardest part for me, Gavin. I think that was the very first time we've ever talked to one another like that, right?
I don't think we've ever had a reason to talk to one another like that before.
That's true.
Anywho, I'll see you in a bit here.
Okay, have a safe ride over. I'll be waiting for you in front of the hotel. Gavin, I'd been wondering why you still hadn't come back to the hotel yet. So when I went up to the room to see if you were there, I realized all your things were gone. Did you go back home?
What? You realized I had left a lot sooner than I was hoping. Well, I've finished all I had to do, so that's fine, I guess.
What are you going on about, Gavin? Where are you right now?
I'm at the hotel Alice booked a room at.
Huh? Why are you with her? I thought the plan was for you to be staying with your parents at this hotel tonight without her having to be a part of it.
Are you kidding me, Mom? We planned this vacation to just be the two of us from the very beginning. So that means it's just about Alice and I, and that you and Dad will not be a part of it.
Hold on a second.
Your guys' room had to be paid in advance in order for you guys to stay there, so you don't have to worry about paying for it. But if you're going to order room service or use any of the other amenities at that hotel while you stay, you'll have to pay for all of it.
This has nothing to do with what things we had to pay for. The whole point of this vacation was to teach that smart-mouth-wielding wife of yours her place, and that's why you kicked her out of our plans. You agreed with your dad and I on that plan, right? The whole time we'd been on that plane, you made sure to show us all the things you said to her to make sure she'd learn her place. And that's why we made sure she had to sleep somewhere else tonight.
What are you talking about, Mom? Well, who cares at this point? I guess it's my turn to tell you what our original plan has always been.
Your original plan?
There are actually a couple of goals we wanted to achieve with this, but the biggest one was protecting my wife from your harassment.
Protecting her from my harassment? Are you talking about the way I've been schooling her? All your dad and I have been doing is trying to fix that woman's smart-ass attitude by treating her like the animal she is.
And what you both call her smart-ass character, I like to call her independent attitude. And hasn't it been you acting like a child this whole time, Mom? Tell her she can't be working as a wife and that she can't be making more than me as a wife, and that she has to listen to us because she's my wife, and that she has to bear you more grandchildren because she's my wife. All of those things are unwarranted and childish, Mom. Do you understand that?
Hold on. You should understand that all of those things I said are true and that she must listen to me. Isn't that why you'd been working with me to school her this whole time?
I wasn't working with you to school her, Mom. I was just trying to sell the lie that I actually agreed with what you were doing. No man in their right mind would allow their own mom to actually treat their wife like that. Come on.
What?
You want to know why she's making more than me at her job right now? That's because she's worked for that company longer than I have and does a much more demanding job than I do. All of that money is a result of her hard work and serious work ethic and should not be judged by someone like you. You like to call her a smartass for not listening to you and doing her own thing. But you asking her to quit her job and to spend all of her time doing the chores and cooking and asking her to send you $2,000 a month in order for you to accept her, and you telling her to stop having daughters and start having sons for you, all of that is completely insane and something I never thought would be coming out of my own mom's mouth. Of course she was going to tell you off like that when you demand things as ridiculous as those. Also, what the hell is wrong with us having 2 daughters? It's not like anyone gets to just choose what gender their baby will be when they're made. So don't you freaking dare start blaming that on my wife when it's an impossible standard to be setting.
Wait, is that right?
This is starting to take too much time, so let's end things with that. Tomorrow, Alice and I will be going home to our new house that we picked out.
Huh? You guys moved into a new house?
In other words, we're cutting ties to you now.
Cutting ties to us?
And trying to find out where we are through Alice's family won't work. We already spoke with them a month ago about the plans we had in mind for this trip, and they promised us that they'd block you both today. We're all going to be changing our phone numbers as well when we get back home.
What did you say?
And when it comes to our daughters that we left with Alice's parents, they've been told about this and are excited to be moving into their new home. When this trip is over tomorrow, we'll be completely cutting ties to you and Dad, so there will be no chance for you. So starting tomorrow, you should stop talking to us. No, actually, after this, you can stop thinking about Alice and I being a part of your family and no longer have to text us.
Gavin!
Of course we'll stop sending you and Dad money as well.
What? You can't do that, Gavin!
Bye-bye.
Gavin, no! No! Alice, what the actual hell is going on here? Why? Are you questioning why your daughter is no longer living with you guys in your house? I'm sure after noticing all of her things were gone and her room completely clean that she was long gone, right? So you do know about what happened here. You give me the reason for this right now and tell me where the hell you and Gavin are. I'm not going to tell you where we are, but I suppose I can give you the reason behind why your daughter's left you. I don't need you to sit there babbling on. Just tell me the reason for this right now. Then let me begin. You've been exploiting your daughter for a very long time now, right? That, at least, is what she explained to me. Huh? Back when she was in high school, you forced her to work a part-time job and would take all the money she earned for yourself. And when she became an office woman, you forced her to put 80% of her earnings into your house for your husband and you to spend. The only thing I don't know about is what you and your husband ended up doing with all that money she was forced to give you. But she was never able to use any of her money for herself because for years now, that 20% you allowed her to keep from her paychecks, she's been saving for this reason. She needed the money to move out from your place, but knew that it would take a lot longer than it has to save up that kind of money. But when she found someone to support her, she finally had her chance to escape and find a new home for herself. By the way, this wasn't just what your daughter wanted. There is one other who has experienced the same hell under you and your husband. There's another person? I'm talking about Gavin. He wanted out and made that clear to me when talking with his sister's boyfriend about plans for getting her out. She has a boyfriend? I never knew that she was in a relationship. I've met with him a few times myself, actually. And as for their relationship, they've been together for 3 years now without you ever noticing. There's no way. I should have been able to notice her having feelings for another man. Well, luckily, she had the understanding and help of that man, along with Gavin and I. So when I said she had someone to help her get out of your house and not have to save any more money, I was talking about him. She's escaped and is now staying with him at his place. Also, she's gone and left the job she'd been working while staying at your house and will now be taking some time off to relax while she looks for a job that suits her more. That's at least what she told me. Huh? Now, allow me to explain what the point of the whole vacation was about. We knew that you and your husband would want to come along with us on this vacation and would do everything you could to get your son to make it happen. So Gavin purposefully brought it up with the both of you a few days ago. We knew the moment you heard about where we were going and what we'd be doing, you'd force your way in. Hold up. No way. You guys. Your daughter's boyfriend gave us this great idea to use a vacation for Gavin and I to get you and your husband out of the house in order for your daughter to safely run away without either of you noticing. That's why Gavin went ahead and had you and your husband with him while moving me to a different location. He then made it look like we were having a troubled relationship because of the choice you three made, while also working on supposedly getting the 4 of us to stay in that hotel. He already knew, though, that you wouldn't want me staying there with the 3 of you, so we made sure to book another hotel room at another hotel so he could come with me when you and your husband weren't around. What the hell? Thank you so much for taking the bait both Gavin and I had laid out for you and letting our plans go without a hitch. Huh? I just heard from Gavin that he got himself a new phone number for his phone. Wait, he got that done already? And it's my turn to get my number changed now. Wait, don't do that yet! Goodbye forever, Maeve. Wait! Everything that happened afterwards, I heard about from the rest of Gavin's family. This was my first time ever hearing this, but it appears that not only was Maeve's husband not working, but neither of them had any savings nor any social security to support them in their later years. In other words, the income that my sister-in-law had and the money Gavin was sending them was their social security. Having just lost both forms of their income and having to soon pay things like bills for the month, both Maeve and her husband went around asking the rest of the family for $2,000. Naturally, after having heard about the situation that had unfolded, every single person they asked told them no in a very disappointed tone. Soon after that all happened, the both of them were exiled by the rest of the family. Having no way of getting any money from the family now, both Maeve and her husband came to the realization that they'd have to work, or else they'd lose their home and starve. They began to search for work to support themselves with, but considering that the both of them are total assholes and old, nobody was willing to hire them in that town. Later, the situation about those two became vague, as the last thing that was seen of those two was them getting into trouble with a group of men on the street. Since then, we have no idea where they both are or what they're having to do now. When it comes to what happened with Gavin and I after that wild ride, we were able to go to our new home and be with our daughters again. And once we were settled down and had all the boxes from the move put into storage, we had both Gavin's sister and her boyfriend over. We celebrated the success of our plan to escape both of their horrible parents, and before the gathering ended, my sister-in-law announced that her and her boyfriend were not engaged and would marry next year. Let me just say, after that exciting news, our little gathering turned into a party, and we didn't end up getting any sleep that night. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Maya, my little sister is coming back home, so could you take the car to the airport and get her?
Wait, you want me to go there right now?
What, do you have a problem with that?
I was just asked by your mom to run out to the craft store to get her a very specific type of ballpoint pen.
Then, once you've brought that home for her and dropped it off, go back out and head towards the airport.
Hold on a second, Parker. Wasn't it supposed to be you who took the car out to the airport to go and get Leah? Oh wait, you shot that talk down because you didn't want to have to drive through traffic to go and get her. And that's why I had to come all the way to your mom's place just to be told to go out and get her favorite pen, and it's not going to be for another hour until I can be back at her place.
Well, I've already had some beers to drink, so I can't go.
What, already? It's 9 a.m., Parker.
I had no choice, okay? My dad was waiting to have some beers with me, and he had them all out on the counter with snacks this morning. You thought I'd just say no to that when I'm supposed to be his golden child?
So what you're saying is that your dad has had some beers this morning as well?
Yeah. And we both know about how my mom no longer has a driver's license anymore, so the only one legally allowed to go out and get my sister's you. So hurry up with buying that pen for my mom and get to the airport and grab her. Once Leigh is home with the rest of us, the plan is for us all to have burgers out on the grill.
All right, Parker.
My mom told me she orders some premium beef patties from Japan, and that's what we'll be barbecuing on the grill for lunch and dinner today, and I really want to eat them as soon as possible.
I get it already, Parker.
By the way, it's because you had to work all the way up until yesterday that I wasn't able to come home to my parents' house until now.
And I told you that you could have gone to your parents' place ahead of me and I would have come later. Actually, if I recall this correctly, I tell you that every single year.
And here's another thing I forgot to say. In my family, it is the wife that should be going to her in-laws first during the holidays to work on all the cooking and chores. Yet for some reason, you...
The longer you drag on this conversation with me, the longer it will take for me to go and get your sister.
Then hurry up and get your crap together.
Jesus Christ, Parker. Maya? I'm pretty sure you're still driving out here, but, well, I just got to the airport a little bit ago, and that's when I found out that my brother was having you drive all the way out here instead to pick me up. I'm sure you're driving still, but if you've already arrived, can you tell me where you are? Welcome back to the U.S., Leah. I'll be there in another 10 minutes or so. Do you want me to pull up to the north wing of that airport to pick you up? That would be the easiest location for me to get to and to leave from with this car. I can wait there. Oh, thank you so much for coming to get me.
Hey, Maya, did you head back out again?
Yes. Your mom was asking me to go out and get you guys some more AAA batteries.
Well, we've ran out of potato chips and dips, so can you please stop at the store and get us some more?
Are you guys going to be drinking some more? Parker, you've been drinking all day now, and you need to slow down. We'd only just arrived at your mom and dad's house this morning, and all you've done is sit around and drink.
Oh, what's so bad about that? We're staying at my parents' house tonight, so I don't need to go anywhere or do anything.
I understand that, but...
Just buy those dang chips and dip and come back here.
All right, chips and dip. Maya, it sounds like my mom asked you to go out and buy some more random things, and now I've overheard my brother asking you to get some things as well while you're out. You already had to take a long trip all the way to the airport to come and get me today, yet It seems you've had all sorts of other random things all day. I'm sorry, Maya. You'll never be able to relax if all they're doing is asking for you to go out and get things for them. You were already being so thoughtful by coming all the way out here. Hey, you don't have to worry about any of this. I'm totally fine here. Then what about when this happened? My mom knew that there would be 5 people at the house today who would be eating lunch, and yet she only got enough burgers and stuff for 4. So in the end, you were left with nothing to eat, and I don't think you've really had anything to eat all day, right? But you gave me half your burger, so thank you for doing that. But that had to happen because Parker and my parents seemed to not care about you. I started out thinking that maybe my mom forgot about getting enough food for 5 people because she's so used to me being overseas and not at home for the holidays. But now that I've put everything that's happened to you so far today together, I can tell that they're all just harassing you. Right? If that's really what's happening here, then I'm so very sorry about my family. Do you want to go out with me and get something for dinner when you get back? Oh, that would be wonderful, Leah. Thank you. However, I've been told by your mom that as your brother's wife, I'm supposed to get used to eating things like shrimp tails and burnt ends, so that should be fine for me tonight if that's all your family has. Huh? That's what my mom told you? You should be used to eating things like shrimp tails and burnt ends. That's terrible. I don't actually eat any of those things though when they serve them to me. Okay, but that's still not a good thing, Maya. I've known from the very beginning that your parents and brother would never prepare anything decent for me to eat, so I make sure to always eat while I'm out of the house doing all of their needless errands. Well, as long as you're not starving all the time when you're here, that's fine. But the fact that my mom said that that was what you should be used to eating? You don't have to worry about it, Leah. Here's the thing when it comes to my relationship with your family. Once I'd married Parker and made my way over to your parents' house for the first time, I was told to stay in the kitchen until the rest of the family was done eating, and that I'd be having their leftovers for dinner. That was pretty much the first thing your mom said to me when I came into the house. She really is harassing you then. She might be, but when it comes to your brother and dad, they never really say much. But they never do anything to tell your mom off either, and will just agree with her by going, every time she tells me to do something, which means they're fine with it. Are you kidding me? Seriously, my family is such a shameful mess, and that makes me feel so bad for you. You don't have to feel bad or apologize for it, though. The fact that I know you understand what's wrong with them is more than enough to help me feel like I'll be just fine. I've been overseas for 3 years now, and not even for something serious like work, but I really wish I could have been around you more so that I could hear your side of things, because all my family will ever tell me is how much of a bad wife you can be at times. Leah, by the way, I've made plans for my family to meet with my fiancé for the first time ever. Oh, the man you told me about before that you met overseas? That guy? Yeah, that's him. Do you think you can come home now so that you can meet him when he comes over? Wait, you want me to meet him too? Actually, the only reason I came all the way back to the States this year is so that I can talk with you. What? I thought you came here just to be around your family again. I want you to be a part of a plan that I have, but before I actually do anything, I'd like to go out with you for a bit and chat about it. Then you can have a better understanding of me.
Yo, Leia! You and Maya left the house about an hour ago after she came. Where the hell did the both of you go and why?
Oh, hi, Parker. I was just thinking about texting you.
What do you mean you were just thinking about texting me? Mom has been whining to me about how she wants Maya to start cooking dinner soon and told me to tell you guys to come home. We're waiting.
Huh? Why don't you tell Mom to start cooking dinner herself then? And if that's too difficult for her to start cooking right now, then have her go to the supermarket and pick up some pre-made food. Why would you guys even be asking for her to do all of these chores when she only just got off work for the end of the year and is in need of a break?
What? That's her job as my wife.
Because she's your wife, she has to go through all this work?
That's right, because she's my wife.
Tell me, why do you think she has to be there to make dinner tonight? Just because she's your wife?
What? Because that's what she's been told to do as my wife.
But then, what does that make of Mom? Isn't she Dad's wife?
What?
She's the wife that Dad married and made a part of his family, right?
But right now, Mom, she's also considered the mother-in-law, right?
Well, she's the only wife in that house right now since I have Maya with me helping get some things together in order to move.
Huh? In order for who to move exactly? Who's moving?
Mom and Dad, of course.
Huh? Why would the both of them be moving?
When I came back home today with Maya from the airport, I noticed that nobody had been working on getting things ready for Mom and Dad to move. So as the only one who seemed to understand what needed to happen, I decided to take Maya with me to get things ready.
Why, yo, what the heck are you going on about right now, Leah?
What?
I have literally no freaking idea what you're talking about right now.
Wait, did you not hear anything about this then? I was told by Mom and Dad that they decided on a day to have the house demolished.
Huh? The house is being demolished then?
To make matters short, the house is going to be torn down, so Mom and Dad need to hurry up and get their things together in order to move out.
Huh?
I could have sworn you were told in the group chat that really soon here the house would be getting demolished by the city. What? Hold on for a sec. Does this mean that Mom and Dad haven't even started looking for a new place to move into yet?
I'm gonna go ask Mom and Dad right now. Oh no. I just went and asked them about it, and so far it doesn't seem like they've done anything in order to prepare for the move.
Are you serious? We'd been talking about this for weeks and months even, and they still haven't started to prepare and look for a new place? I've talked with them about this 3 times now.
They told me that this is their house, so nothing can happen to it, and there's nobody who can rightfully kick them out of their house. They kind of thought you were just joking about all of that stuff when you brought it up.
What the hell are you going on about? Aren't you all aware that 3 years ago Dad went and gave ownership of the house over to my fiancé and said that he'd make the decisions? That was back when Dad's burger joint went under, and as a way of trying to not go into major debt, he sold the place to my fiancé because he was willing to let Mom and Dad stay there. My fiancé has been a realtor overseas and had the money to buy the place from Dad, and that's why they never went into major debt after the burger joint failed. But the plan was made a year ago to have that house, the house my fiancé owns now, torn down because the area is going to be used for an apartment complex. My fiancé was able to buy Mom and Dad a year, though, because he didn't want to stress either one of them with the plans he and the city had made, yet they still haven't done anything? Both my fiancé and I have been telling Mom and Dad to find a new place to move into so that when the time comes, there'd be no hiccups, right? You heard about all of this, Parker, because you wanted to be in that group chat, yet you haven't actually been paying any attention to it? This is why you need to stop slamming back beers while you're with Mom and Dad and start getting ready to have them both moved out and into a new home. There's only a little while longer before the house has to go, so you get Mom and Dad together right now and start helping them get their things together. Tomorrow we're going to go through the whole house together, cleaning it all out and making sure everything is taken care of. By tomorrow night, I want Mom and Dad to have a new home picked out and be ready to go.
Yo, if we have to get all of that done by tomorrow night, then when will we sleep?
Since you 3 have procrastinated for a whole year, you won't have any time to sleep with these next 2 days now.
And as for the place they should be moving into?
Tell them to start looking for anything that can be ready for them in a few days. I don't care if it has to be an Airbnb or a rundown apartment, and if nothing is available, then you'll just have to shove them into a hotel for a while.
Then what about the moving company?
There are plenty of movers that can get to work right away if you call them 24 hours in advance. And you can have them take all of Mom and Dad's things and put them into storage for a month if need be.
But that'll cost them even more money.
Then how about you pay for all of that? I'm going to be honest right now, you are partially to blame for all of this since you decided not to heed my warnings.
Are you kidding me, Leah? Hey, Maya! You know about how I've been made to handle all the work needed to get my mom and dad moved out of this house, right? I've been wondering why this whole time you've done nothing to help us, and that's why I went and took a trip back to our house, and guess what I find? Divorce papers signed by you? What is all of this about?
Oh, so you made it back to the house?
Where the hell are you right now?
I'm out at a cheap hotel right now, staying here for a few days.
Huh? You staying at a cheap hotel now?
I planned on moving out, so I've been taking my time in order to find a place to move myself into.
You're moving out of our house now, so you actually want to go ahead and get a divorce from me now?
You already knew that when you walked in and saw the divorce papers I left for you signed, right? Come on now, man.
Why do you want a divorce, though?
You know the reason why. Because you just sat there and let your mom harass me that whole time and never once said anything about it.
That was just,
What we're going to talk about now is all the stuff that I learned about from Leah herself. Did you know that the reason Leah came back to the US in the first place was to learn about just how much your mom has been troubling me and acting like she can use me as her slave? Because that's what she's told me, and there was no other reason.
What?
She told me that things weren't as bad as she was suspecting, and she would have bought Mom and Dad another year or so before having her fiancé go ahead with the house's demolishing. However, the moment she came to the airport here, she realized that I was already being forced to do literally everything during my holiday with no time to relax in sight. And when she saw that your mom didn't have enough food for me, like with those burgers, well, she was able to see just how badly things had become for me within your guys' family. At that moment, she knew that she had to do something to stop this and gave me a chance to escape. So she told her fiancé to contact the city and tell them to go ahead with the plans to have your house demolished and get your parents out.
What the hell? What the hell do you think you're doing, acting like Mom has been harassing you this whole time? I was told that was the way my mom planned on making you a good wife. Yet you and your misunderstanding has gone and left my mom and dad without a house and me without a place to go back to relax at.
I think there's a bit of a misunderstanding on your side, actually, since I wasn't the one who decided to do all of this at first. It was your sister, Leah.
Huh? She made the decision to do this?
She made the choice based off the fact that she could clearly see your mom was harassing me, and that it was her fiancé who's owned that house for the past 3 years. So she talked with him about what was going on, and their final decision was to have Mom and Dad kicked out so that the house could go ahead and be destroyed.
What?
Oh, and another thing. I'm going to assume that you took your mom and dad back home with you to the house to stay with us instead of putting them up somewhere?
Well, of course I've done that. I plan to have both my mom and dad staying in this house with us, and you won't have a say in that.
Not going to happen.
What?
I don't want to have someone that enjoys harassing other people living in the same house as me. I knew that was going to happen, though, and that's why we're getting this divorce for sure now.
Hold the hell on!
My dad was very kind by introducing me to one of his friends who is a very respected divorce lawyer.
What? You have a lawyer now?
I'm sure that you'll be getting a call or email from that lawyer very soon here, so once you've heard everything he has to say, you can talk with him about what happens next in the divorce.
Wait!
Oh, and one last thing. I happen to be the one who rents that house, and I'm having the rental agreement ended next month. So you guys will have to leave there pretty soon as well and find a brand new place to move into.
What?
Hurry up and find yourselves a new place to go so that I can tell the landlord he can go and clean the house out for his next tenants.
What the hell?
That's all I had left to say.
Hold on a dang minute, Maya.
Goodbye forever, Parker.
Maya! What are you doing?
And just like my sister-in-law had been saying, she worked with her fiancé to have my in-laws' house demolished like she'd been warning them to prepare for. Leah had also told her family her fiancé's number in case they ever wanted to talk with him about any of the plans he had for the house, back when he had bought the place from her dad. But they never ended up asking or saying anything to him. After being moved into Parker's in my place, Parker soon learned that I was not joking about having a lawyer. And after some long talks about all of the things I had to endure with his mom and him, he was told he'd owe me a settlement. Not too long after Parker was informed about that, I received the settlement money, and the divorce was able to be finalized. Unbeknownst to them, I had both audio recordings and video of Parker's mom harassing me, and of both Parker and his dad never stepping in to control it. So of course there was no chance at all for Parker and his family to fight me in court. So within a month, the divorce was over with and I was a free woman again. After being forced out of the apartment by the landlord a week later, they had to move into a dirt-cheap apartment that was close to 100 years old and had not seen any maintenance for the past 50 years. And just a few years ago, something bad happened there that appeared on the news. Those three got into a massive fight within that apartment and ended up causing so much damage to it and making so much noise that the police were called and arrested them. When I saw that news, I got one message from Parker, and all it read was, "Help." When that happened, I didn't even bother to actually open the message and just blocked him and his family's numbers before changing my number as well. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, Allie, are you still not back home yet? I just got here and you're nowhere to be found.
Hello, Charlie. I'm still coming back home from work like always, and I'm making my stop at the supermarket, like always. Actually, it seems you're home a lot sooner than normal. What happened that allowed you to be home around 5?
I can come home anytime I want to.
Yes, that is absolutely correct, and that means the same applies to me. I'm doing what I'm always doing at this time of day and haven't done anything that should be making you upset with me.
What? I see. Then you hurry up with the groceries and get home to make me dinner. I'm starving right now and don't want to wait any longer.
Okay.
And the bath isn't even ready for me. How come the bath isn't ready for me?
When I get home from work, I usually take care of things like that, the way I've always been doing it. I normally get home a bit after 5, and you normally get home around 7.
And normally you should have all this stuff handled for me before I get home, like a good wife would do.
And since you've gotten home earlier than normal, that won't be possible. I also happen to have a job, and that means that any time before 5 p.m. won't work because I'm at work.
Jesus, I say one thing and you have some kind of comeback. I say another thing and then it's a different comeback. That right there is why both myself and Kylie hate you.
Now that you mention her, is Kylie back from college yet?
Huh? Her shoes were at the front of the house when I got back home, so I'm sure she's up in her room now.
I see. Well, thanks for telling me. Now I'm getting back to my shopping so that I can be home as soon as possible. Hey, Dad. Isn't it getting to be that time where we don't need that old woman here anymore?
What do you want now, Kylie?
It's been a year now since Grandma passed away, which means that in the next couple of months, I'm going to be heading to work for the first time ever. And, well, the company that I'm planning on working for is a ways away, so I was thinking of moving to a place closer to the office to live on my own.
Oh?
In other words, if you get rid of the old woman, then you can get married to that hot girlfriend of yours and have a wonderful later half of your life with her, right?
What? Hold on, you know about my girlfriend?
From time to time I see her with you, so... And of course, as your daughter, I'm rooting for you to be with the woman you love most.
I see. Thank you so much, Kylie.
Old woman, you understand that today is the day I'm moving out and into my own apartment to start my new life alone, right? Good morning, Kylie. Of course I know about that. Is there anything you'd like me to help you out with right now? Are you kidding me? I don't want your filthy hands touching any of my things, so stay away from the house today. What? I don't want any of your help, and I hate the idea of you being around me while I leave, so stay out. Don't come home until later tonight. Is that right? It seems we've really raised one of the most helpless kids ever in this house. Huh? Perhaps this is what happens when we let you hang out with your abusive grandma all the time, who just had a blast making me feel unwanted. What the heck are you talking about? None of that makes any sense. I didn't expect you to understand what I was talking about there, so don't even worry about it. Since I can be out of the house all day today, I'll go and handle some of the things I've been needing to get to now. Then hurry up and get out of this house so I can get ready. Go away.
Hey, Allie, you understand that today is the day Kylie moves out of this house, right?
I know. I could tell from all the commotion I heard in her bedroom earlier this morning.
And as her mother, you didn't even bother to help her out with any of her packing? Instead, heading out the front door to leave her home all alone?
She told me herself that she didn't need my help and she didn't want me home to watch her leave the house, so she said I needed to stay out until later tonight. And that is why I left the house just then. Next time, please talk with her first before coming to me with your complaints.
So that's what happened there.
I was told this first thing in the morning, so I wasn't able to prepare any meals for you guys today.
Well, today's a special day anyway. I'll forgive you for not doing anything.
Is that so? Well, thank you so much for your forgiveness. Now, I have some errands that I'd like to finish up today myself, so I won't be able to talk until later tonight.
Is that right? Well, go ahead and do whatever you want.
I will. I'll make sure to do everything I want. Charlie, I'm almost home from my day out. And, well, I just walked by the trash down the road, and for some reason, a lot of my things were in it. Do you mind telling me why a lot of my things were just in that trash pile all the way down here by the dumpster? I noticed some larger things of mine were also in that pile, like my dresser and my nightstand. Tomorrow is not a day where they come around to collect larger trash items, you know.
You don't have to come back to this house anymore.
What?
What I'm saying is, I can't believe you hung around Kylie and me for the past 20 years, when we both have hated your guts since the very start.
Ugh. I believe the reason that Kylie has always had a lot against me is because of the way you and your mother behaved towards me. Since you always had her going over to your parents' house, she was being raised by your harassing mother and was taught to treat me like the housemaid. She got to sit there and watch front seats as you and your mother would always trash talk about me while forcing me to do all the chores while working a full-time job, so of course she began to hate me the same way. I guess there was no helping this outcome, though, because I never did anything to stop it.
Stop running your annoying little mouth already. Kylie's gotten herself a job now and won't be around anymore, which means I have no use for a housemaid like you anymore. Get out of my life.
Understood, Charlie. I will gladly get out of your life.
I want you and the rest of your things out of here in 1 hour.
Oh, you don't have to give me an hour, Charlie. Most of my things have already been moved out of that house, so I don't need to really grab anything from there.
Huh?
To make this understandable for someone who lacks any wits like you, no, I'm not talking about how all of my things are in the trash now. I planned on moving, so I had made sure to send all the things I wanted to keep to my new place in advance, and left all the things I didn't care for in that house. I was doing that today while you were at work and Kylie was getting her things ready to go. Originally, I had planned to go back to that house to gather all the things I didn't need and take them to this dumpster. But you've already handled that for me and are even telling me to stay away now. So I'll stay away from there and start going to my new place of residence.
Yo, what the hell are you going on about?
I'll leave it up to you whether or not you want to come out here and collect all those larger items like my dresser that cannot be thrown out tonight.
I'm asking you what the hell you're going on about. I get that I'm telling you to get out of my house right now, but what you're making things sound like is you've planned on leaving this house before I told you to.
Yes, that's because I've been planning to.
Huh?
Could you be surprised because you forgot something very important? About a year ago, after we had your mother's funeral and were on our way home from there, weren't you the one asking me to divorce you and saying that things between us had gone cold?
What?
But at the time, Kylie was still in college and hadn't found a company that wanted to hire her yet. We didn't want to cause any stress for her then by getting a divorce and having me move out of the house, so I recommend we just hold off on the divorce until after she graduated from school, right? And after listening to my suggestion, you agreed with me. Therefore, the plan was after Kylie graduated and was on her way to her first company job, I'd prepare for the divorce and leave the house.
Now that you mention it, that's right.
As for things like splitting the property and such in the divorce, I've made sure to get myself a lawyer to help us out.
What? You went and got yourself a lawyer already?
That's right. We've been married for 20 years now, right? Neither of us know about all the properties that we've shared for those past 20 years, and so I wanted a professional to help us out with all of that so that the transition was smooth and safe. I was recommended to do this by a friend of mine who also works in law, so we should trust doing what she's recommended to me.
This all sounds like a pain in the butt, but you've already asked for their help, right? The lawyers?
Yes, I have. I thought that since this would be a pain in the butt for the both of us, the best choice would be to get a lawyer.
I guess there's nothing I can do about that now. All right then, Allie. Hey, Allie! What the hell is this settlement about? You told me you only got that lawyer to help with our properties, right? Why am I being asked to pay you a settlement now?
And if you had taken a look at the papers and at all the evidence that's attached to them, you would understand why and not have to yell at me.
What evidence?
There's a document stating the procedures that were taken to prove that you've been cheating on me with another woman. And along with that document are some pieces of evidence proving what happened. I believe some pictures and a USB with audio recordings.
What the hell? You were having someone investigate me?
I sure was. And thanks to having our divorce wait for 1 year, I had enough time to get people together to go and get all that evidence for me and prepare the legal case that will get me that settlement.
What did you say?
So now that you're aware of what needs to happen next, you can get in touch with my lawyer again and have those talks. Also, we've been renting that house for the last 20 years now, which means by the end of next month, you need to be out of there so that the landlord can have it back and prepare for his next tenants.
Huh?
I can see that you haven't been preparing for anything and that this is all a major shock to you right now, but I'd put those emotions on hold so that you can get to work moving out of that house.
Wait! Why did you wait to tell me all of these really important things until right now?
What? I thought we talked about all of this a year ago after we had that talk about getting a divorce.
That's not what I'm talking about. Why have I not been told about this house when I've been the breadwinner here?
Excuse me? I thought that I had always been the one making the most money and handling all the payments.
Huh?
5 years ago, when your father first passed away, there was a lot of paperwork that had to be done for the place, like who would be in charge of the house and be considered the next tenant in it. Your mom, of course, didn't have any way of paying rent on the place since she'd never worked a day in her life. And you always complained about how you didn't want to do paperwork, and so you had me handle it all. You didn't even join me to co-sign the papers or anything, leaving me with one choice, and that was to become the sole renter of that house. Of course, I've been bringing in the most money as well, so it kind of made sense that I pay the rent. But that is what happened. So for the past 5 years now, I've been paying most of the rent on that house, as well as for utilities and such.
What?
Are you saying this whole time you never noticed anything about that?
Now that you've explained it all to me, I guess I've never seen any money being taken out of my accounts for rent.
Then there you go, Charlie. I've left that house and ended my rental agreement for the place, and the landlord isn't looking to make you the next renter. So it would be best that you move out of there as soon as possible so that the landlord has time to deep clean and everything else. Hold on, old woman. I just got off the phone with Dad. Hi. I had told him earlier today that he would have to pay a settlement to me for having been cheating, and that would have to come with the divorce. I don't mind that you guys got a divorce, but now he's having to lose his house? Is that something a mom like you should be allowing to happen? I don't have any children, though. Huh? So you're telling me that with the divorce you're also cutting ties to your one and only daughter? And as things have always been, from the very start, I've not been your real mother. What are you talking about? I thought you'd been told this long ago, and even if you don't remember that, you should have noticed by now. What? What do you mean by that? I would love for you to go and ask about all of this from your father, but your real mother, the one who birthed you, died when you were only 3 months old due to a severe illness. And then, 2 months after that happened, your father ended up marrying me, since I had worked for him as his housemaid before. That happened only 2 months after my actual mom's death? Everyone knew that I was raised a foster child and had never been adopted by anyone, so I had no family. And when I was old enough to start working, I went into being a housemaid for the wealthy and was doing that for years and years. At one point, I even worked for your parents and was your mother's favorite maid up until she passed away. Your father was going to force me to leave, but knowing that I didn't have anywhere to go after that, he made a proposal, and that was to become his new wife. I had no other choice but to listen to him. He told me that as long as I became his wife, I could live in his house and not have to pay a dime to do so as long as I continued to do the chores. Are you kidding me? Wait, then does that mean there was real meaning behind why I'd been calling you old woman the whole time instead of mom? That's right. Your father and your grandparents knew that I wasn't your real mother and didn't want you referring to me as such, hence why they raised you to call me such a terrible thing. From the very start, I didn't want you to be raised in such a way that would turn you into not only a selfish little child, but a rude one as well. No way! If you don't believe what I'm telling you, just have a look at your birth certificate and you'll see what I'm talking about. My birth certificate? Well, your father and I have been divorced now, and in a few days here I'll be changing my phone number. So I think that after today, you and I won't be talking to one another ever again. Where will you be going then? I've been working for a newspaper company out in the next city over, so I've chosen to get an apartment close to there, where I've already moved into, actually. A newspaper company? They're located in a part of town from one of my favorite books, but of course you'd never be able to guess what book that is. I was always reading it, but you never cared enough about me to know what I read. Of course not. Have a good one now, Kylie. Okay. Dad, there's been a lot of very hard to understand things going on. Honestly, what the hell happened?
What?
I don't even know how to feel about all of this, and I don't know how to feel about you or Grandma. For some reason, it's like I don't even know any of you anymore.
Kylie?
Well, now that I think about it, I haven't told you where I've moved to yet, have I? I think this is where I call it quits with you, Dad.
Wait, what?
Bye-bye.
Kylie!
After having heard the story that I gave her and thinking about how she never really had a mother figure growing up besides her grandma, Kylie started to lose it and began to think she'd never even want to get married because it's too difficult for her to understand emotionally. She also chose to cut her father out of her life so that she could get a feeling of starting fresh with no family just like I had growing up. Kylie ended up joining a company one of my old friends has become a part of, so for a bit I was hearing about how things were going there for Kylie. Because my friend noticed she had the same rare last name I had before the divorce. From what I'd been told, Kylie became this really gloomy girl in the workplace who never wanted to talk with anyone about anything and has often gone home early due to not feeling well. My old friend told me that she can keep me in the loop on what all happens later on with Kylie, but I told him that she's not my daughter. Since she never treated me like her mother, I don't have any attachment to her. Now, when it comes to what happened with Charlie, there's a lot. I heard all of this from a friend around that house I was living in with him, and she told me the woman he had cheated on me with ran from him after the settlement, and because of that, he became sort of a hermit. He began to lose control of everything going on around him, or rather it seemed like he was just stuck in this trance after having lost everything, and only snapped back to reality a day before he had to be out of that house. So in a panic, he decided to go and move into one of the company's apartment complexes in order to avoid becoming homeless. He grabbed everything that he could carry on him and in his car and left the place, leaving more than half of his things there, which would later be tossed by the landlord. That apartment complex he moved into was primarily for younger employees of the company who had just been hired and moved into the area. So a lot of rumors started to spread about why an old man like him was there. And after a few months of being picked on by all of them and being reminded of the joke he was for letting his wife and daughter get away, he quit his job. Right now, he's out on the streets looking for any kind of work possible while crying about the family he once had and would never be able to obtain again. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
I just got done listening to my parents about their plans for the end of the year and everything.
Hey, Zach.
It sounds like the both of them will be going away to a ski resort for a bit, so they've asked if we can change our plans to match theirs.
Oh, is that so?
They seem to have forgotten about all of the things we talked about before with them.
Wow. Well, if that's the case, I had planned on going back to my family's house for a bit, but now I guess that I can just stay here at home. Or we can go with them. Do you think one of those two options is a good choice?
Well, if that's what you'd want to do, I think it's better to leave things to me.
What?
While I was on the phone with my parents a second ago, my little sister Sammy came inside, and I was able to hear from her for a little bit. She was going on about how her and her husband would be going to Hawaii for the end of the year and stuff like that.
Wait, they're going to Hawaii?
They got married instantly and never had a chance to have a wedding put together, so they thought that now would be the best time to celebrate a sort of honeymoon.
Hold on a sec. Sammy only just had her baby 3 months ago, and they're already wanting to go to Hawaii?
I can see why you'd be a bit worried about what'll happen with their baby.
Well, of course. I mean, she just had that baby a few months ago, and things were finally getting to the stage where they'd have to be with the baby a lot as it starts to grow. So what do they think they're doing now, going all the way out to Hawaii?
You don't have to worry about that. I made a deal with them that we'd take their baby while the two of them go enjoy Hawaii. So, have fun with the baby.
Huh? What did you mean by that last part?
You're looking after our niece while her parents are away. That's why I said that in a please and thank you sort of way.
Huh?
And the baby'll be coming to our place tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
My sister's husband gets a very long vacation during the holidays every year, which means that they will be in Hawaii for some time. So they want to be out of here tomorrow, the first day he has off from work.
Wait. I get that she's our niece, but she's a newborn, and as someone who has never taken care of a baby before, I have no idea of what to do. Why would you even make a deal like that without asking me first?
What? What's gotten into you, Everly? Don't you really love kids?
Yeah, I freaking love kids, but being around them for fun and having to actually take care of them as a parent are completely different things.
But it'll be good practice for you, right?
Stop saying crap like that, please. That is not the way to be looking at something like that. I get that it might be good practice for some people, but I'm not even going to get the chance to prepare for what is quite literally a newborn baby that I've never even met before. And even before this started, you knew about how I'd be going back to my parents' house for the first time in 2 years to finally spend some time with them.
But I already made this deal with them.
You should have known the moment they asked that you had to say no, Zach.
But come on.
No, none of those buts from you. What I'm saying to you is that it's going to be impossible for me to take care of a 3-month-old baby when I have no time to prepare for her.
But the thing is, I have work to go to still, and since I've already gone and made this deal, the only one who can watch the baby is you, Everly.
I also have work to go to. Every dang year, I have to work until the 29th and only have 1 day off for Christmas before getting 3 off for the new year.
What?
I still have plenty of days before I get time off.
Crap. I never really put any thought into your schedule.
Yeah, no duh. This is literally the busiest time of the year at this company, so I can't get a single day off besides the holidays. So since you were the one that made that deal with your sister, you're going to figure something out. Please.
What? Are you sure you can't do something to help me out here?
No!
But...
Don't even bother me anymore. I'm done talking with you for today.
Come on now, Everly.
Addie, do you mind if I talk with you a sec? I have something very serious and urgent to talk to you about. Hello, Everly. What's going on that's so important? It seems that starting tomorrow, my sister-in-law is heading away with her husband for the holidays and leaving their daughter with us. Huh? When you say your sister-in-law, you're talking about Sammy, right? And didn't she just have her first baby 3 months ago? Wait, what you're saying is that she's leaving you and Zach with their 3-month-old newborn baby? Yeah, my husband was an idiot and made a deal with them without even talking to me first. And Sammy's going with her husband to Hawaii for a little while, and this will all be happening tomorrow. Huh? Then, right after telling me that, my husband started to go on about how he'd still have to work and told me that I'd have to take care of our newborn niece alone. Even though he knows about the fact that I have to work up until the 29th and can't take any days off. How dare he make me take care of a newborn baby that I've never had any experience with after making a deal like that? I told him already that it wasn't happening, but he seemed so out of it that I'm not sure if he understood what I meant. Everly, have you made it home from work yet? No, I've stopped at a cafe for a bit to think. Everly, I think starting today, it's better that you don't go home. What? Based on what you've already told me, it doesn't seem like Zach is going to take no for an answer from you. You understand? You don't think so? I have this gut feeling that there is something more going on behind the scenes, and that those three will do everything to make sure you're stuck with the baby. Like bringing her over tonight and leaving you in charge? What? Hasn't Sammy always been the kind of girl where if things don't go exactly the way she planned them, she throws a fit and starts to ruin everyone else's time? I don't want to think she'd act as childishly when it comes to her own daughter, but based off her track record, I just have this really bad feeling that she's going to force you, one way or another, to take care of her kid while she runs off to Hawaii with her husband. That makes sense, actually. Then, how about you head over to my house? Is that all right with you? I think that even for a little bit, you should come here and wait to see what happens. Anyway, can you start heading over here after you're done at the cafe? If Zach starts to ask where you're at, tell him you went to your older sister's house to talk about some things regarding the end of the year and such. Sounds good. I'm going to start heading to your place right now.
Everly? Hey, where the heck are you right now?
I've gone over to my older sister's place that she moved into not too long ago.
What?
And I was just about to start texting you when you began to call me.
Why did you go to your older sister's place?
I wanted to talk with her about the plans we both had to head back to my parents' house at the end of the year. I wanted to see if it'd be all right if I rode with her down to my parents' place. She then asked me to come on over so that we could talk more about it and some other things relating to the holidays.
So does that mean you're going back to your parents' place then?
I am.
That's not good for me.
What are you talking about? I told you about these plans a long time ago. Back in October, I think.
I know, but if you leave, then what am I going to do? You know, with this.
With what? What is this that you're talking about?
Oh,
Hey, Zach, I know I shouldn't be asking this, but did Sammy come over to the house one day early, forcing her baby onto you so that they could leave bright and early tomorrow?
Actually...
I knew that was going to be the case.
Well, if you knew, then why didn't you come home right away? Come on now, and tell your family you're not going back to their house now.
Well, good luck taking care of a 3-month-old on your own.
Huh?
I told you that I wasn't taking care of that baby, right? I have had plans for 3 months now to go back to my parents' house for the end of the year.
But don't you still have work you need to take care of?
I just called with my boss a little bit ago, and he said it would be totally fine for me to work remotely for the last few days of this year, so I could go home to see my parents. I just have to go in tomorrow and get my laptop from my desk, and I'll be good.
So you're gonna make me take care of this newborn all on my own now? It's times like these right here where you should be at home with your husband helping out with the family.
All I noticed was you thinking you could get away with shoving your niece onto me after not even talking with me about this first.
What?
I have never, ever, not once in my life, taken care of a newborn baby, Zach. I'm sure for some gosh dang reason, you were thinking that because someday we'd be having a kid or two, that forcing me to take care of your sister's baby would be a good learning experience for me. But here's the thing. What if me, being someone who has never ever dealt with babies before in my life, were to end up having an emergency with the baby? What would happen then? That would not be good for me, right? Are you telling me you thought it would be a good thing, a safe thing, leaving someone with no parenting experience at all to take care of a newborn baby over any of the countless other options your sister had? I think you going and making that deal with your sister goes to show that you don't care about the baby.
But hold on, if we didn't take the baby, then my sister's trip to Hawaii...
Who the hell cares about her vacation? After all the things your annoying little sister has done to us, you damn well should have known that by taking her baby this time, she'd begin to think it's okay to depend on us all the time. I knew the moment you brought that deal you made up that things would start to go downhill, and that's why I'm heading home to my parents' house early now. I told you no. So no matter what you have to say to me, it's no. Addie, sorry for wanting to talk while you're out. I just got some scary news from one of the neighbors back near my house. Huh? What happened? What news did they give you? That bastard Zach, he brought another woman home with him to stay the night at our house. Huh? I'm going to assume that he's making her take care of our niece now as well. And from what my neighbor overheard, he was saying things about how I left him to hide at my parents' house and that he was forced to be all alone with his sister's baby. I spoke with my neighbor before about how Zach was trying to leave me with our niece so that his sister could go to Hawaii with her husband. So you're telling me Zach is desperate to find a way out of his own responsibility? Yeah, and I made sure my neighbor sent me some photos as proof for all that's going on there. I think the girl he brought home with him is one of his coworkers. And since this happens to be a 3-month-old newborn we're talking about here, he had to find someone who's had that same experience from his work, right? There are plenty of people who work with Zach that have already had kids before and know how to deal with them. So it would be really hard for me to pinpoint who exactly this woman is that he's been working with. I'm sure. Sammy and her husband will be getting back home on the 7th, right? Yeah, that's the plan that I heard. Well, this is a little... I think before her and her husband get home, we're going to have to collect more evidence of what's going on with Zach at your house. Hey, Zach. I know I'm really late with this, but Happy New Year. Ever since you started to take care of our niece, we haven't really communicated much, but how have things been going with her?
What the hell? So now, of all times, you're finally going to start talking to me again?
I felt that it should have been you who texted me first, considering the situation you put yourself in, and that's why I never sent you anything. But today is the day Sammy and her husband come home from Hawaii, so I thought it would be time for me to contact you again.
Yeah, sure. Well, if you're just wanting to know about the baby, I've been having to take care of her this whole entire time.
Are you sure?
To be honest, it was a lot more easy than I thought.
So you've been at home all by yourself taking care of our 3-month-old niece?
I mean, look, there wasn't anyone else I could have counted on to take care of her with me, so what do you think?
I kind of assumed that your mom and dad would have canceled their trip to that ski resort in order to come and help you out a bit. But after talking with them, they didn't even know that Sammy and her husband were going to Hawaii for the holidays.
That's what it sounds like. Sammy said that she didn't want to worry either of them, so she wanted to keep her trip a secret from them and leave.
Interesting that she didn't want to worry her parents any with her trip to Hawaii, yet was totally okay with leaving her newborn in the hands of people who have had 0 experience with kids.
But this whole time I've taken care of the baby with no problem at all. In other words, this means that you have become too prudent.
Oh? Then could you tell me who this female is in all these photos I'm holding on to right now?
Female in those photos?
Yep, I have photos of her going into our house and also leaving our house. I've had someone I stayed in touch with this whole time feeding me info about what's been going on there and gathering evidence for me. This female, is she not the same woman you've been working with for a while now? Andrea?
What?
She's that same woman that would bring you home sometimes from those dinners you'd have for work where you'd get too drunk to drive, right? I kind of remembered her from somewhere. So perhaps whenever she'd come to the door with you wrapped in her arms as she carried your drunk ass inside, she was saying that she could become your wife for any reason?
What? No, wait. Andrea is... She knew about how I was having to take care of our newborn niece all alone, so she was just coming over for a little bit to give me a hand was all, okay?
When you say for a little bit, do you mean that she's been at the house for the past 10 days straight, staying the night with you while also having to take care of the baby girl? From what I've heard about Andrea, she ended up losing her husband in a divorce because she's been cheating on him, and in that divorce she lost custody of her kids, right? I suppose since she actually has the experience with young babies, she's a better option than someone with no experience whatsoever. But bringing in the woman that you've been cheating on me with to take care of your sister's baby?
No, wait, Andrea is not that kind of woman to me.
Listen here, Zach. I've already figured everything out with the help of some professional people.
What?
And in order to catch you cheating on me today, I have everyone outside the door of our house waiting for you. Right now.
Everyone?
Both of your parents, as well as both of my parents, my older sister, and Andrea's parents as well.
What?
I can tell that the both of you put the baby to bed and are now using this moment to sleep in our bedroom together while you have downtime, right?
Huh?
I have an app on my phone where I can watch the camera in our house.
A camera?
I actually came home after learning you were cheating on me while you were at work and Andrea took the baby on a walk. And during that little bit of time, I placed a camera in our room to watch and see what all happened. And sure enough, I've seen more than I wished to see of Andrea in our bed.
What?
Now, we're all going to be coming inside.
No! Please!
And with that, on the day my sister-in-law and her husband were coming home from Hawaii, the rest of the family and I raided my house to find my husband with another woman. When Sammy and her husband did show up, they were both furious to learn that Zach was using his secret woman to care for their daughter and was sleeping with her in our house. But Sammy and her husband weren't safe from the wrath of their parents, as both my mother-in-law and father-in-law took Zach, Sammy, and her husband with them back to their house. There they got the whooping of a lifetime before their dad told them that they were never going to be a part of his family again. As of right now, my in-laws have decided to take my niece from Sammy and care for her while everyone else figures out their problems. And as for myself, I made sure to divorce Zach on that day. And of course, I made sure to get a settlement from both him and Andrea for having cheated on me. Because of that, not only did the both of them go into some serious debt, but the news got around their office and both of them were forced to leave their jobs. Word of both Sammy and her husband being bad parents also circled around town and into their workplaces, and they too ended up leaving their jobs. Now, 4 new people have joined the ranks of poverty and are having to worry about basic needs like food and water instead of their baby or their niece. I've heard news that a little while after all of that went down, Zach and Andrea ended up getting married to try and make it easier for themselves to pay off their debt. But only a week after they got married, there was an accident and Andrea became pregnant with Zach's first child. I'm not sure how quickly they can both find new jobs and pay off their debts, but they'd better do all that soon before that baby comes into their lives. And as for Sammy and her husband, well, there hasn't been all that much news about them since they got disowned from both their families, and I think they ran off to go hide somewhere else. And of course, you might be asking what happened with me. I moved out of my ex's house the day after our divorce and to my sister's place where I could stay with her for a bit. Since she herself is single, we've come up with a plan to stay that way for the rest of our lives, since I've already had a taste of the married life and my sister was never interested in the first place. I am a little bummed that I never got to have a kid of my own with anyone, but I'm still young, so who knows what about my thoughts will change and what kind of men I could run into next. The only thing I'm going to say, though, is that if the time does come that I really want to try again, that man better listen to me and listen well. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.